The opening scene begins with Edmond Dantes, a poor sailor who brings the ship Pharaon to the seashore. On the way, their captain fell sick with brain fever. He and his best friend Fernand stopped at Elba to call for help. In the process of calling for help, Dantes shoots a gun and the soldier around them felt in danger. As they attacked Dantes and his colleagues, Napoleon caught them and explained their scenario, and they accepted to help their dying captain. Napoleon told Dantes that, as a price for treating their dying captain, he must help him deliver a letter to Monsieur Clarion. He told him Clarion would find him and the contents of the letter must not be known to anyone. Their captain died. They took his remains back to their country, Marseille. Dantes was welcomed with promotion, as he became the new captain of the Pharaon. While he celebrated this new position with his girlfriend, Fernand was jealous because he liked his girlfriend Mercedes and he thinks Dantes gets all the goods in life. He hatched a plan with the deputy captain Douglas to demote Dantes. Fernand reported Dantes for treason because he met with Napoleon. He was called by de Villefort, the deputy crown prosecutor, who was reading the letter and destroys it, because the letter was sent to his father and leaking the letter would destroy his political ambition. Villefort allowed Dantes to leave that same night. Villefort asked Dantes to take his personal chariot home. However, instead of taking Dantes home, he was taken to the shore and traveled to a prison called Château d'If. He tried to escape and ran to his old friend Fernand for help. He got to know Fernand had betrayed him and he was arrested and taken to Château d'If. Fernand the next day took Mercedes and Dantes's father to Villefort, just to show Mercedes he cares. Villefort informed them they should forget about Dantes, as he has been executed on charges of treason. Dantes was in prison for 6 years. To celebrate his anniversary in prison, once a year, the head warden beats him to make it memorable. One day, he saw someone appear by digging the root of his prison court. The old man named Abbe Faria told him he thought it was a way out and had dug that way for 5 years. They both agreed to start digging the opposite route. He asked the old man to teach him how to fight, as the man was a soldier. Over 8 long years, he and the old man dug together a route out of the prison. Within those years, Faria taught him how to fight and also taught him to read, taught him economics, government, religion, and so much more. Right before Faria's death, Faria told him the location of a valuable treasures at Monte Cristo, a treasure which he claimed was worth about 2 million Roman crowns. Faria died and the keepers of the prison came to pack his remains. After they tied him and left, Dantes would loosen the sack and entered the sack himself. Then he kept the remains of Faria in his room. When the keeper came to take away Faria and dump him in the sea, they unintentionally carried Dantes outside. Dantes was thrown into the sea. He swam his way out of the sea and survived. At the seashore, he met a crew of thieves and smugglers headed by Luigi Vampa. Vampa came there to bury one of his men alive because he stole some gold. Vampa caught Dantes and told him he would provide a solution for the whole team. He and Jacopo the gold thief would fight, and whosoever wins would be allowed to join the team. After the fight, Dantes won. He had no choice but to join the team. He was renamed by the team to bear the name Zatara. 3 months later, the team of smugglers sailed to Marseille. Vampa told him to join the team and he was allowed to go into Marseille. Everywhere in the city had changed. He started his search for revenge with Jacopo. He went to Morel to ask about his family, pretending to be Dantes's friend. Morel told him Dantes's father hung himself after getting to know of Dantes's treason. He asked about Villefort and was told Villefort left for Paris to become the chief prosecutor. So after his father was murdered brutally, he asked about his fiancée and got to know Mercedes wedded Fernand a month after Dantes's execution and after the death of Fernand's dad and brother. Fernand became the Count Mondego and Mercedes became the Countess, and they now live in Paris. Getting to know of this information, he was in shambles and left for Monte Cristo to find the treasure. The treasures were worth more than Frida had explained. He told Jacopo he wants to buy revenge. He doesn't want to just kill them. He wanted to study them and get painful revenge on them. They went to Paris to start their plan on revenge. He bought the island of Monte Cristo and also bought the title from the government. He organized a large party inviting all the high-class members of the society. Although Villefort attended, the Mondegos didn't attend. Dantes got information about Fernand and got to know he got a loan to buy his boat from a bank. Dantes bought the bank and asked that the bank confiscate Fernand's boat, leaving Fernand with no choice but to go back to Douglas. So Fernand went back to Douglas. Jacopo informed Dantes that Fernand and Mercedes has a son, named Albert. Albert has asked his father for an excuse to go to Rome with his friends. At Rome, Dantes staged Albert's kidnapping and came to save Albert himself, so Albert felt indebted to him. Dantes asked Albert to visit his estate for breakfast the next morning. The next day, when Albert visited, Albert asked why Dantes risked his life to save him, and Dantes told him that was the noble thing to do. Albert heard Jacopo and Dantes's conversation about a shipment of gold and spades coming in from Marseille. Albert pleaded with Dantes to please visit his family in Paris, so they can also physically appreciate him, and Dantes agreed. Dantes's visit was right on time. It was on the occasion of Albert's birthday when he arrived. He met Mercedes, who told him he looked like someone who was very dear to her. But the man is dead now. Dantes invited Prosecutor de Villefort to be at the birthday, so he met with Villefort and asked him to ensure the safety of his shipment coming from Marseille, and he should help him out with its custom. De Villefort and Fernand met and planned how to hijack the shipment and steal the contents of it. They decided to split the gains into 50% each. Since Fernand was still having a conversation with Villefort, he couldn't give his son's birthday toast, so Dantes gave Albert the birthday toast. During the speech, Mercedes was convinced beyond all doubt that the Count of Monte Cristo was her Edmond Dantes. When Dantes was leaving, she went to meet him in his chariot. She kissed him and told him she thought he had been executed. Dantes told her he isn't the man she is looking for and told her to excuse herself from him. Back in the chariot, Jacopo told Dantes he is going too far for revenge. He should leave what he has lost and take what he has won. But Dantes refused this advice, then proceeds to walk home. As for Fernand's shipment coming through from Douglas's ship, Douglas stole 2 boxes of his treasure. Just when the shipping left, Dantes came to arrest Douglas, charging him for theft. Douglas, who thought Fernand had set him up, attempted to fight Dantes, but he hangs himself in the process. Dantes visited Villefort, asked him why he informed Mercedes that Edmond Dantes was dead. He blackmailed him into saying that Fernand was the one who murdered his father. He said Fernand would never betray him because Fernand pulled the trigger himself. He didn't know there were many government officials there hidden behind the curtains. The Villefort was thereby arrested for conspiracy to commit murder. It was at that point he knew that the Count of Monte Cristo was Dantes. Dantes offered him a ride to the prison and kept a gun in there for him, hoping he would kill himself. Mercedes came to visit Dantes again. She asked him where he was and why he didn't try to look for her when he got back. In tears, she explained to him that she never left him, that the string she tied on her finger the night he was arrested had always been on her hands up till that moment, that she married Fernand Mondego because she was pregnant with Dantes's son. They both reconciled and made passionate sweet love that night. The next morning, Dantes already prepared for his family trip out of the country. He asked Mercedes to go pack a few of her belongings, as they are leaving with their son. When Mercedes got home, she saw Fernand packing. He told her he would soon be arrested and they have to escape now. He asked her to find his son, and she told him Albert is not his son. Albert is Edmond Dantes's son, and that was why she rushed to marry him after a month of Dantes's absence. Fernand told her she is unlucky to have a son for a dead man and she is now on her own. He went to where he kept all his shipment, but found all the boxes empty. Dantes went to meet him there, asked him why he betrayed him, and Dantes attempted to kill him. However, Dantes's attempt was cut short by Albert. Albert intervened to save his supposed father Fernand, and Dantes insists if he has to, he will kill the both of them. Mercedes came there, pleading with Albert to stop, and told Albert his father isn't Fernand, but Dantes. Dantes stopped his vengeance and told Fernand to leave. Before Fernand left, he shoots Mercedes. On his way leaving, he felt he couldn't live in a world where Dantes has everything and he has nothing. So he rides back to fight Dantes, but Dantes overpowers and kills him. Concluding the movie, Dantes travels back to Chateau d'If. 3 months after, in front of the sea, he says to the old priest, Abbe Faria, that he would now use his treasure for good, as he is now done with his revenge. He walks off the island with his family and Jacopo.